I'm sure that most of you have heard of the shooting that happened recently over in the University of Cincinnati. And if you haven't, I'm sure you've heard of the Sandy Hook High School shooting or the Louisiana movie theater shooting. And these recent events in the United States have started arguments over the personal right to own guns for general citizens, which would be us. And every time one of these events happens, politicians always light a fire under this. They spark it up, make it bigger, and then after a week, you don't really hear about it again until another one happens. And they always discuss issues that can be very many, but the three they usually discuss are regulation, gun violence, and safety. So starting with regulation, the side that's for gun control says that the lower amount of guns, the less amount of crime. So that means that not very many guns out there, because they're harder to get, crime's going to go down. They also say that child safety will be increased. You won't have the public shootings, so you won't have those children in danger. And you won't also have the children at home getting into gun safes and harming themselves that. And they also say they need to increase the law because there's loopholes in the law now. Like you can go to a gun show and you can get a gun without a background check or your ID because it's a private transaction. And they also say that the problem with background checks is that it's a process, so like as soon as you get one, that anywhere in between the time it starts and ends, you can do something that would not be right with the background check, and then therefore still be getting a weapon that you shouldn't be getting. And then the side that argues against it for regulation is that the Second Amendment of our Constitution says that we have the right to bear arms, and that could be interpreted in many different ways. But they say that the government can't take away our right to buy and own a weapon. They say only the states can limit those type of things. And then they say, why punish everyone when not everybody is a criminal? Why punish most of America for a few of what these people do? And according to statisticbrain.com, gun profits are around $11 billion a year, so they're also highly profitable for our economy. And the next one they discuss is gun violence. And the side for gun violence is that with these public shootings, the reason why they happen is because firearm availability is a lot higher. You can get a gun easier. So therefore, they're going to happen more. And if we have gun control, the availability is going to be down, and then you won't be able to see these happen very often. And according to procon.org/gun control, criminals don't usually buy the gun they kill someone with, they usually steal it. So again, back to firearm availability, gun violence, it'll be lower if it's harder to get a gun because then the criminals won't get it. And a side that's against gun violence says that gun violence will always be there, whether or not it's with a gun. It's just easier to kill someone with a gun. So if there's no guns, the crime's still going to take place just with a different weapon. And then moving on to one of the most important ones is safety. The side for gun control says that children will be more safe, as discussed earlier, whether it's in schools, at home, or just out in the general public. And then the side against it says that on average 200,000 women protect themselves every year with a gun. And it's not necessarily like they kill the person that's trying to harm them, it's just they have it out and it saves them. And with the increased gun laws, they might not be able to protect themselves every year. And then one fact or statistic is that all but one of the mass shootings that have taken place have taken place where guns are banned. So if we increase gun laws, some of those individuals may have been able to protect themselves, but since guns are banned, they couldn't. And another statistic is that the United States is #1 in gun ownership, but they're 28th in murder rates. And on average, around 645,000 people save themselves with a gun each year. So in conclusion, the topics of safety, gun violence, and regulation of guns and purchase of guns can go either way. You have your own opinion. And everyone is affected by it. The gun control debate on whether or not your personal right to own a gun or choosing safety, and that is up for you to weigh the options